The leadership mistake I will never make again: focus on problem solving. If you're watching this channel for the first time, my name is Nadine Zainoun, and I'm a master certified coach who is obsessed with spreading emotional intelligence and helping people build trust. I was a good problem solver, and when I found a creative solution, I was always sparked with this rush of energy and this sense of achievement like nothing else gave me. And I thought that that was enough to lead a team. I actually thought that being successful in one role would make you successful in any role. And I thought that my awards, my recognitions, and the reputation that I had built was enough to allow me to thrive in any situation. But I was wrong. You see, I was assigned as a sales manager for one of the largest teams in the organizations. And being a young, energetic, driven leader, this excited me a lot, and I wanted to take on that mission. And I jumped into that leadership role too fast and probably too confident. I didn't know what was waiting for me, and I had zero experience managing people. I jumped in, and things started to go downhill. You see, there was tension among the team members, unspoken, uncomfortable, and continuously growing. And I didn't notice it at the time. One member was seen to be above all the others. And that person was a high performer. He was driven. He took initiative. He had a great impact on clients. However, internally, he didn't work well with the team. He wasn't supportive to the team, and they were resenting him. They didn't trust him, they didn't like working with him, and they always felt undervalued, they felt unrecognized, and also they felt like management recognition was unfair. Again, I didn't notice any of these things. Their resentment started impacting their behavior. And what did I do? Instead of leading this situation, I actually reacted to the situation. Instead of creating understanding and creating a broader perspective on things, I actually was led by their frustration. I took it on. I took on that emotion that they had. And instead of being neutral, I took sides. And the worst thing is, I didn't realize that I was doing that. I thought I was being fair. So instead of sitting with that person, I allowed that frustration and I allowed those emotions to actually impact the next steps that I took. And I wasn't aware of anything. I didn't have that difficult conversation with him. I didn't sit and listen to his perspective and how he saw things. I didn't create that safe space of trust so that truth can emerge. Instead, what did I do? I went out fishing and looking for feedback about this person to be able to nail him. And that was wrong. But I didn't notice it because I thought I was being thorough. I thought I was being just to the rest of the team. But my opinion and my view was skewed at that time. But I didn't realize and I didn't notice. So instantly, the trust between us had gone. It was impacted. And what was worse was his behavior toward me started changing. So he stopped talking to me. He stopped sharing his challenges. He stopped challenging my ideas. He stopped even giving ideas in team meetings. And he simply became the passive, disengaged person in the team, which of course was not healthy at all. And what was worse was I didn't know, I had no idea and no clue on how to rebuild that trust. That moment was the leadership failure moment that hit me hard. It was very painful. But I must say, that pain pushed me to reflect deeply into what was happening. I didn't only reflect on my behaviors. I reflected on how I was showing up in the team and how I was impacting people around me. And I discovered so many learnings. One, I discovered how important emotions are and how they can drive us without us noticing. I discovered the power of empathy and how much a leader needs to be empathetic and needs to give a fair chance to everyone to speak up. And last but not least, I learned that as a leader, my job is not to find solutions. My job is to create that space of trust for other people to find the solutions. That realization was a great moment for me, and it actually shifted the way I was leading. And today, I lead in a totally different way. Here's how I lead now. One, I recognize my emotions. I always check in and see what's my emotional state now. And could it be skewing the way I'm seeing things? Could it be impacting the decisions and the problems I'm trying to solve? That's one thing. Another thing is I also now focus on attacking the conflict. I do not avoid conflicts anymore. Actually, I have a heightened awareness of what's happening and what are some subliminal conflicts that may be occurring. So once I sense that, I immediately surface the conflict and we discuss it as a team. And most importantly, I create that space for people to feel that they're not judged so that they feel comfortable speaking in that space. And I listen to every single one so that I can create a broader perspective on things. And last but not least, the third thing I want you to know is that now I look beyond behavior. So what do I mean by that? You see, behavior is just a signal. It's a signal of something deeper that's going on. All those people that had resentment and they were feeling like, things were not fair for them, they actually had a need to be seen, a need to be recognized, a need to feel valued. And what did I do? I stayed at the superficial level of behavior and tried to address the other person's behavior. But that wasn't the real problem. And here's a question for you. How do you think things would have been different if I had really seen the true problem in that situation, the need to be seen?